This year, near the end of April, my wife and I were sitting in the living room when we heard some chattering coming from our chimney. So I went outside and looked down the chimney, and this is what I saw. So I knew I needed to do something about it, so the next day or two I got some wire and made some caps to go on my chimney. Now the middle chimney, I have 3 chimney flues. One that has a pipe in it, that's on the right. The middle one is where the raccoons are, and the other one, I'm just taking some time to make a sturdy wire cap to go over that so they won't go down. The middle one goes to the first floor, the one on the far left goes to the basement, and the one on the right that's kind of crumbling actually is a chimney with a pipe in it that goes down into the garage. So here's the first night I caught her on camera. I set up the camera and I got this nice shot of her coming out. At this point I didn't know how she was getting up on the house and down. You could hear the kits chirping or squeaking. So my camera didn't have the right date set on it, and so it says 2016 May 22nd, but it's actually April 26th, and the time is off too. The time is off by 3 hours, so she came out around midnight and went back in about 3:30. So next morning I repositioned my camera. I wanted to get a little bit farther away so I could get an idea where she was going. So I just have a tripod on my trail camera. I also set up a trap and I put some bait around. So there's some of the bait. I put some cat food and some marshmallows. I also have some fish. Okay, we're going to see what we can catch tonight. See if we can catch that rascally raccoon, or at least catch some photos of it. So this is the first one. For some reason there was a delay in my camera, but I definitely could see where she was going. And I set the time right, and she came out just a few minutes after midnight on the 27th of April. And here she paused. I'm not sure why, but she just paused for like 15 seconds. But I knew from this video now where she was going. And then she came back like 3.5 hours later, and again my camera was delayed for some reason, and I didn't catch her coming back, and she'd kind of turned around. I don't know what she's doing here, except that maybe she's smelling what's going on, and she kind of steps out of the camera and is trying to figure out, maybe she's aware of the traps and the new smells of the bait. I don't know, but she's kind of leery. One of the things you'll notice here is just how cautious she is being. She just creeps along the roof. She's watching that trap. And this next clip here, I set the video out and it's after dark, but something comes scurrying along the roof here. It kind of surprised me when I was watching this video. There it went. I slow it down. I'm pretty sure what I'm seeing here is a mouse. There it is right there. You can see its body and its little tail. Okay, now she comes out again, just like 30 minutes after midnight, and you can hear the kits chirping. And she heads off in the direction of the roof of the shed. And then she comes back about 2.5 hours later. Now, remember, the bait and the food is all up there, but she did not touch any of it. I think it's really clever how she goes down the chimney. Basically, she goes down the same way each time. She kind of gets started, and then she grabs on with her right foot and slides down. So right there, we caught something in the video. Mama gets the first kit. I was kind of disappointed because the camera didn't catch her coming out. But I let this clip play because you can hear the kit. That was her just jumping from the roof to the shed. And right there you could hear the chain link fence. Alright, she's back. It only took her about 15 minutes. Now I've got food up there and she doesn't pay attention to any of it. But she's probably really curious about why it's there, because it wasn't there before. I'm not sure, but my camera I have a 30-second delay, so I missed some good stuff, but I had set the length to 45 seconds. There she went down a little bit different, but she still holds on with just her right foot as she goes down. Let's see how long it takes her to get a kit and come back out. And there she is with a second kit. And then the next clip was her coming back again. So I missed her leaving with that kit. I wish I would have set it to 1 minute clips. There she goes down again. Watch how quick she is. They sure started chattering. If they're hungry, she's not feeding them. She's on a mission. And there she is with the third kit. Now this is another clip where she came back, so it's 3:35, and if you go back, you can see just how quickly she took a trip to come back. There's not as many kits chirping. I'm not exactly sure how many kits she has, but we get one more, I think, here on clip. So here was the fourth kit, and I got a really good shot at this one. That was really cool. You know, the camera has really good microphone on it, because you could hear her walking down that composite roof. Now here she is back again. Now remember, it was 3:35, and so she's back. It took her probably about 15 minutes. And she's back again. I don't know if raccoons can count, but she's come back to check on things. So you can see she's more curious about the food now than she's been before. But she's gonna head back down the chimney. There she went. And she's right back up. Now there's a delay in my camera of 30 seconds. But she didn't have a kit that time. So she must have got them all, but she came back to check. Now she's just kind of wandering around on the roof. I'm not sure what she's doing. But the birds are starting to chirp. It's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. So here it is, 4:27. I thought for sure she was gone. So I'm not sure. She probably went to check on the kits to make sure she had them all. Maybe she is counting them. I don't know. But here it is, 30 minutes later, and she's back wandering around again. She checked on them once, but she's got to double check. She's a good mama. And the birds are starting to chirp, 4:30 in the morning. So now she's doing more inspection of around the den area. I think she's picking up some of that food, but curiously she goes down one more time. So this is the second time she checks on the kits to see what's down there, make sure she didn't leave anything behind. Here it is, just a couple minutes later. There was a delay in the camera, but now she's eating some food. She's eating the cat food. I had a piece of fish out there. She ignored the fish for 2 nights. So that's a pretty smart raccoon to just totally ignore that. Now I did have a trap over there that I borrowed from my neighbor, but it was only 7 by 8, and really I needed like a 10 by 14 trap if she was even going to attempt to go inside, because there was a bunch of all the tasty stuff. Most of it was in the back of the trap. So here the camera had delay, but she went around. When I came up the next morning, she had taken and eaten all the food that was easy to get to, but she would not try to go into that little trap. It was just too small, even though the biggest piece of fish and the most marshmallows and the cat food, all of it was back there. I think she came pretty close to the camera that time and sniffed, because I could hear her snorting if you go back a few seconds. So here I just recorded some noise of the birds chirping early in the morning. The sun's going to come up around 6:30 or so, but cars are leaving. I'm not even sure what's triggering the camera at this point. And there was a robin at 6 o'clock in the morning. That was kind of a neat catch. Okay, so now it's 6:30, the sun came up, and it must have been the sun coming up that triggered this, because I don't know what it would have. But here it is an hour later, and then finally at 8 o'clock I come and get on the roof. The camera didn't catch me, but I had checked and I'd looked down there and noticed that she had gone, so I moved the other wire, and I called up my friend Joseph Carter.
I mean, and the funny thing is, she did finally eat some of the food. I mean, I had all this tasty food for her.
My friend Joseph Carter, he has the channel,
and I'm hoping
Joseph Carter, the Mink Man, and he was going to come over here and help me.
Yeah.
But I called him up that morning so he didn't come over that day.
Because You know, I didn't know which way she was going, and then it became obvious to me she's going down and she's
Anyways,
jumping
thanks
on
for
my,
watching. That was
my
kind
shed.
of an interesting thing, and I'm glad I had my little trail camera to catch this all. But she sure is a clever raccoon and a good mama.